Hi, this is Turk72. This is going to be chapter 1 of my experience of applying for California CCW. And I know many of you may not live in California, but if you live in a likewise restrictive state such as Connecticut, Illinois, and so forth, this might be of interest to you. So I had my first appointment recently, this month, and so I'm in phase 1 of the process of a multi-phase process. So I had my interview. First of all, it took me a long time to decide on what guns are going to be on my license. In California, it is advisable for you to list every gun that's going to be on your license up front. So, like, I can't go, buy another gun and then decide to use it for CCW. I have to change my license. It does only cost $10 to change it, but the thing is, how long does it take and what process is involved? So anyway, once I made my selections, and this is one of them, I tried to go make my appointment online with the sheriff's office. Excuse me, I'm going to sit down here. And so once I did that, I found out that there was a freeze on the appointments. That was in July. So there was a freeze on. I don't know if it was because of budget cuts or if just so many people were applying or whatnot. But anyway, you had to sign up on the waiting list, and it recorded your driver's license number on the waiting list. And then when appointments were open, then you were able to set up a date for your appointment. So it took about 4.5 months. I just happened to catch the website at the right time. I think the day after the appointment block was unfrozen. So I got in there. Apparently some people were waiting up to a year, but I just got lucky and happened to get in there, had an appointment, and I spoke with 2 officials. So I had an interview with one person, and that was the bulk of my time there. The thing you have to really do is read your application carefully. Some of it has to be filled out within the presence of the official, and some of it doesn't. So you can fill out some of it, like sections 1 through 6, whatever. I'm just taking arbitrary numbers, and then you fill out the rest in the presence of your official. So luckily I read the application a few times right before my appointment, and I happened to catch that you're not supposed to fill out the whole thing. So and also you have to be aware of payment, what you can pay. Things may have to be paid by money order, like your license fee. Other things, there may be no restrictions on payment, like your fingerprints or something like that. So you need to be prepared for those things. But anyway, I just want you to know what you could be in for. So one of the things that the official asked me was if you ever had anything expunged from your record. And I didn't have a record, and nor did I have anything expunged. So I did not know if that was a legal and appropriate question to ask me. But since I really had no precautions either way, I was okay with that. It also asked you to list all of the moving violations you have had in the past 5 years. And I think there was, maybe 5 or 6 lines listed for that. So if you can, if you happen to be the person that can fill up all of those lines, you might have cause for concern. So the other thing they asked me is if I ever experimented with drugs, and I said no. So again, I don't know if that was off topic or a legal question for them to ask me, but they asked me it anyway. And also buried in there is, it says you need to write a letter of statement of why you wish a CCW license. So I happen to have a pretty good reason with my job. I have to travel long distances alone, and sometimes during sundown. So but anyway, my part of California is a shall issue state, which means if you have a halfway decent reason, then you should be able to get it if you can pass the background check and things like that. So I'm not sure when that changed. It changed somewhat recently. Some of the restrictions were lifted. So there we are. And so now the second person I interviewed with was it was very brief. He basically just asked me, where did you live throughout your life? Where were you born? Things like that, and then I was done. So again, so it might just words of wisdom is just be prepared. Read your application over and over again. Again, that letter of statement, it was kind of buried in there. I almost missed it. Be prepared. Don't be nervous. And just be aware of what I told you, of what you may be asked. So next process is they will review my application, and multiple officials will review it, and then afterwards I should be able to be fingerprinted, which I already have been taking the live scan fingerprints, but we'll have to pay for it again, and then do a training course of 16 hours. And then I believe the final phase is being issued an appointment. So I suspect it will be still quite some time. I'm guessing 6 months or so before I can get it. But I think that's about it for chapter 1 of this. And thanks for checking out Turk 72.